Hey, my name is Natalie Sabrina Dahl, and I'm here with one of my students, Philipp Vollenweider, and we're going to do a little case study and see what happened during the time that we worked together. So, Philipp, what is it that you do? What do you help people with?
Hi, everyone. My name is Philipp Vollenweider, and I help people on the way to financial freedom. I help them to become financially freedom quickly, so based on their personality, on the budget.
Okay, that's very interesting. So you told me about some of your students who made a return on investment of 40%.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Which is, for me, amazing. And I don't know about you guys watching this, but this sounds really amazing, because we're typically, when we have the money on our bank account, I don't know if we even get any interest. It's probably 0.5% or 1%. So that's a real outstanding result.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we started working together last year, Philipp. And can you share with the audience what were your kind of objections before we started working? You were a little hesitant before you started working with me. What was your thought process back then?
Yeah, what should I say? Yeah, I wasn't sure if I get my results if we were working together, and I wasn't good at sales. I wasn't good in speaking, so I always had my little voice that told me I can't sell, I can't speak in front of people. And after a few months, I can tell you that it's a huge difference. I didn't expect that, and so additional to that, it showed me that I can change something if I want to change something, or if I get myself a coach who helped me to do what I want to achieve.
Okay, amazing. Yes, exactly. A coach needs a coach. So your coach for financial freedom needs a coach too.
Mm-hmm.
And so you said, when we were talking before, you were mentioning 3 areas where you got results. Would you care to share those 3 areas?
Yeah, the first one was in speaking. That's where we're working together. The second one was in sales. And the third one was in coaching, in set up my models, in how I present myself, and so on.
In getting clients. So let's start with the last one, in coaching. In terms of return on investment, did you get the money that you invested in the coaching back by finding new clients?
Yes, I did. So I can't tell you the exact numbers, but I think it's about the doubled amount.
Double the investment. Okay, cool.
So far, and still goes on then.
Very good. And in terms of sales, so congratulations for that. That's a huge accomplishment, getting twice the investment back within a short period of time, and this is ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the astonishing things was for me that in terms of sales, so on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you think your sales skills were before we started working together?
I think it was a 2 or a 3.
Out of 10.
Out of 10. Yeah.
Okay, and now where do you consider yourself being on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would say it's an 8.
It's an 8. Wow. Because that's a little bit hard to measure. But what I can say is that I was astonished at the last sales training we did together. You were a participant at the sales boot camp. We played a little game, and people could vote on the best pitcher. And you came out number 1 in a room of 30 people. And that was really astonishing. So that goes to say that your sales skills increased dramatically.
Yeah, absolutely. I was surprised as well.
Yeah, that was a big surprise for me too. And I asked a couple of people, and they said you come across so authentic and so real and so caring that they just love you. And excuse me, the first one, in terms of speaking, how did it help you improve?
The speaking gave me a structure, a process where I can hold myself, and which gives me a good feeling to give the audience what they want to hear and not just what I want to tell. And yeah, it was, for me, it was, I could stand in front of people easily and not having fear of them. So that was very good.
Okay, thank you. And what was your biggest lesson during the time we worked together?
That's a difficult question. I think I had a few great lessons. I think the two biggest for me was in sales and speaking, so that I can improve myself. I think that was the biggest lesson, because I always had this little voice in my head, as I said before, I'm not a salesman, I can't speak well, and I still have room for improvement, but I did a huge gap, or how to say,
Jump,
which I didn't expect at the beginning.
Yes. And one thing we didn't even mention is, as some of you might have noticed, Philip is not a native English speaker, and your English speaking skills are way, way better than when we started working together.
Okay.
As a side note, you don't do that right now because you're only coaching in German, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. So that was the biggest lesson, that you can get better. And that's huge, because a lot of people don't believe in themselves. A lot of people are like, yeah, well, this is just not me. I'm just not a salesperson, quote unquote. And this is huge. So thank you for that. So what advice would you give our audience?
Yeah, I would say, if you want to improve these things, I can definitely recommend you the strategies from Natalie. And I think also she helped me a lot in this case. And maybe another advice would be, yeah, the change is possible. If you want to change something, it is if you work on the things, you can change something.
Yes, 100%. Thank you very much. That's a big one. Believe in yourself and take action. All right, this was Philipp Vollenweider, Coach for Financial Freedom, and Natalie Sabina Dahl of the Coaching with Quick Start Formula. And thank you very much for taking the time, and you guys for listening and watching this. And until we see you again, stay awesome.
Bye.
Now I need to find the button.